Woo-hoo! And we're live. And there's a super chat in there already.
Does that mean we should do it right now?
We should do it right now. Before we even get started, don't forget the noise. Somebody actually said that to me the other day in my other super.
Why are so many things popping up?
I don't know. Are we having right click, left click issues? I feel like I was having that problem. What did the super chat say?
Super chat from Matthew Perkins. Thank you for the super chat. I didn't even know you could put in super chats before we were live. Which brand's fanboys are the most vocal? Every time anything good or bad is said about a few big brands, people get passionate in the comments.
We will talk about that tonight, probably as a sub-conversation of our other conversations that we are going to have. Thank you, Matt.
Yeah.
Matthew Perkins, I believe you ordered a loaded pickguard with 2 humbuckers in it, and your pickguard came in today. So I'm going to try to get it built and in the mail tomorrow. So that's pretty sweet. We're also going to chat. We're going to do some housekeeping about that too. So we're going to talk about, we're going to do a bunch of Q&A stuff tonight. We're going to talk about guitar brands because you saw the thumbnail. I have a reason. And I don't know if you noticed, but we made some changes around here. So we'll talk about that.
Oh, wrong was that?
We'll talk about that in a minute. I don't know.
I don't like that.
You know what I just realized?
No.
That I should do like tech talks, but blacklight only. With a whiteboard and a white, and it would be like John 5 looking.
That's weird.
I'm just kidding. Anyway, welcome to the Dylan Talks Tone live stream, where we talk about guitar stuff and we answer your questions that have come in through Patreon throughout the week, as well as YouTube members. There's only a couple of those tonight, but we are going to talk a little bit about, you saw the thumbnail. We'll get into that in a minute, and we'll probably get into that super chat that already came in, because I want to talk about how much guitars should cost. I was actually thinking about it today when I pulled my new guitar, this one, out of the package, and I'm holding it, and I'm realizing how much it was. You know, and
like
then
you didn't know. You
well,
just
I mean,
bought it. Is that what I'm
it's
hearing?
so easy to click, and then you're like, you know,
oh yeah,
oh, we got another one. I got your button over here tonight too.
Yeah, but I can't click that and push that.
Gotcha.
So like,
I
it's
see what you're saying.
a double edge.
Yeah.
Plus, it's so quiet now I can't even hear it.
Oh, I can turn that up.
Turn it up loud. Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you for the super chat, Doc.
Yes, thanks, Doc.
Sorry, I feel a little distracted or something. But thank you for the super chat. It's that. Is that the Tone Doctor lab coat?
It is. Can we make these bigger?
I don't know. I just can't.
I feel like they're
read
smaller
tonight or something.
I feel like they're smaller tonight. There we go. Yeah, so I just came in yesterday. I'm actually going to take it off because it's a little weird, but it's pretty sweet.
Why is it weird? Oh, look.
More super chats. We didn't even get started yet.
This is a super chat from Van Shank Guitars. Thank you for the super chat, Ivan. Is that a lab coat, or are you just happy to see me?
Yeah, both. That's both. It's very long. Anyway, so I've got that. And we also have the whiteboard that we installed.
Can we not mirror? How did I never notice this before?
I don't know what your issue is because it's never been that way.
What do you mean it's never been that way?
Maybe it has.
Are you saying it's always been like that? Where you're on this side, but you're really on that side?
I mean, let's ask you. When you look at the screen...
No, it doesn't count.
No, it does. It does count.
Why?
When you look at the screen, am I on the right or am I on the left? And last week, was I on the right or was I on the left? We could actually go look.
This is so weird.
This is so weird. Anyway, we can check this out. I know this is so stupid. While we're doing this very important piece
It's research,
of
man. You
research,
had lab coat on.
I
It's
did. I
research.
did. We're doing sciences. I want to talk a little bit about Dylan Talks Tone and the whole volume situation, not as in how loud we are, but how many pickups we're making at this time. We put a thing on the website in the shopping cart area, not the shopping cart, but the checkout page that says that we are on a 4-week lead time. Pretty much. There's going to be stuff that comes out quicker than that, obviously, because I was thinking about today, like, I'm making all this Strat stuff right now. So if somebody ordered Strat pickups, I would just add it to the pile for the day and it would get done right away. But there's some stuff that's going to take a little bit longer. So
Somebody said you're on the right always. Both weeks.
all right.
So it's always been like that?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Because I always point to the wrong guitar. I know I've done
Yeah,
it.
but it's really odd that I never even noticed we were on the wrong side. It's one thing when it's one person and you realize it's mirrored.
Oh, no. You are right. It is not. No, because we should see what's in the camera monitor. And yes, it is backwards. I don't know how that happened. I really don't know how that happened. We will not fix it right now because that will be too confusing for me to deal with and too stupid for you all to watch. But yes, it is wrong. You are correct because
But it's only affecting us?
it's only affecting us.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So, anyway, so we're making a lot of pickups. I mean, I don't know how many there is right there. There's like 12, 14, 15, 16, 17, like 25 or something. Tomorrow there's going to be like 25 more. I mean, we're really busy. So we will do everything we can.
To take this super chat from Paul McNary. Thank you
Thank
for
you,
the
Paul.
super chat. He said the guitars are righties and the words on the whiteboard are correct display. Yeah. But why does it look, I mean, that looks right to me too.
Then it's just you. Yeah, I think it's always been like that.
And so what does the camera show? Is it backwards? The camera's backwards.
Oh, well, maybe that's the thing that's confusing.
Anyway.
Anyway,
Super weird.
whatever, it doesn't matter.
I would love to say that that's the reason I feel all discombobulated, but I'm sure it's not.
So anyway, we're making a lot of pickups and it's really busy and I really appreciate everybody, but I also really appreciate your patience too, because we are going as hard as we can right now. It's insane. So I appreciate it a lot. When you order stuff to know that you're going to get it. And I just don't want to rush things either. We have a specific schedule that we have to kind of maintain, especially where we are gonna. Here's the funny part. We were talking about this last night, trying to figure out how to manage this. And one of the hard things is you could just say, well, focus on making pickups and don't make videos. But the problem is if I stop making videos, then we stop selling pickups because it's inextricably linked. Like the amount of people that watch the videos and enjoy the content and learn about the stuff, they buy the pickups. That's how you all got here, right? So if I stop making my normal content that you all have a video comes out on Monday, a video, whatever days of the week we do this stuff, if it stops, then it's a weird thing, but it's a ball that you're constantly pushing uphill. And if you stop making videos, we've done this before. We've gone on vacation for a week and not had videos, and it took me 2 months to recover from 1 week off. Like, it's crazy. So it's crazy how it all works together. So just thank you. I'm just saying thank you, but I want you to also know to please be patient with me. I'm going to do everything I can to make sure that's happening. So we just have 3 questions that have come through Patreon tonight.
Okay.
And can we take those first? We'll get those out of the way, and then I want to get right into this guitar stuff because the internet has been ablaze with some pretty gnarly stuff the last couple of days.
You ready?
Yep.
Oh, just kidding. How does that happen sometimes but not every time?
I don't know.
You just have 2 questions?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Rick. No questions, just answers. Rude Rick, double, reverse strap, hitting the Dylan P.O. box in the very new future. Super busy if I don't make it in this evening. Have a great cast. Rude Rick.
Thank you.
Is that like, is his name like Rude Rick? Or is it Rude
No, it's
Rick?
Rude Rick because he's trying to. He's got a brand that he's working on.
Okay.
So yeah, no, it's a great name because his name is Rick, so it's cool. He's gonna send us a couple more straps apparently.
Sweet.
Yeah. To try out.
Then John, getting frustrated trying to learn songs on guitar. Is it easier to learn songs on the bass guitar?
I'm not the right person to ask for that because I don't really play bass that much. And when I do play bass, it's because somebody else didn't show up and all I'm trying to do is just plunk out the chords. Like I'm not really a yeah, I mean, at an open mic night or something, somebody needs me to play bass, I will tell me what the chord progression is and I'll just plunk through it, but I'm not a bass player, so I don't really have I'm not the person to ask for that. I think though, I will say that learning the bass lines in a song does help with laying out the song structure as well as identifying root notes and chords and stuff. So that does help for sure. But I don't know that learning to play bass, you might have to get a cat.
What?
I'm just being mean to bass players. Not really.
But you like cats, so how is that
I'm
mean?
teasing.
I don't get it.
I have a bass pedal right over here. I just haven't done a review on it.
Bass somewhere.
Yeah, it's over there. I've moved around guitars. We kind of just rearranged guitars this week because I got this new one and I needed a place for it. So, and we're shipping out the silver Strat, I believe is sold, I think, and the red Telly is going away on Monday. So that's pretty cool too. Sold the Marshall. The Marshall is in a box and on its way out. The only thing I have left that's not sold that I'm trying to sell right now is the Katana, 50-watt Katana. So it's pretty cool.
Ryan13 says, hello, everyone. It's their first time on a live chat here.
Oh,
great
sweet.
Channel, great content. Keep up the good work.
Thanks, man. I appreciate that. If you have questions that you want to ask and get them in, put a bunch of question marks in front of them so that Leslie can grab them out of the chat. And as always, if you use a super chat, we just stop what we're doing and answer it right away. So we'll just get into that. So I want to talk a little bit about this thing. I posted the news, right, this week, and the headline story to me was this Gibson Theodore guitar, which is a very polarizing instrument, right? Like some people think it's really ugly. And it is weird looking, for sure. But the more polarizing thing about it wasn't necessarily the shape as much as it was the cost of the thing, because it was $5,000. The thing is they only made like 315 of them or something. 318, whatever it is, right around there somewhere. And they all sold. They're all sold. They're every time. So when we do these newscasts, especially on Wednesdays, I've been sharing some of these crazy custom shop things that are 15 grand, that are like 12 grand. And even on the lower, not the lower end, I don't mean that. I mean on the higher end of regular guitars where you get up into like the 2,000, 2,500 up to the $5,000 area. People get really, really frustrated. They get really almost angry in the comments, and they are really opinionated about that guitar costs too much money. If they would have made the Theodore in a $1,200 whatever, they would have sold way more of them. But you see, that wasn't the point. The point of that guitar was not to sell it as a volume product. The guitar was to sell it as a collector product. And people are going to say, that's just to pad collectors. Why don't they make one for the proper players? Why don't they make one for everybody else? That's not to say they won't. But I think a lot of people don't understand, or I don't want to say understand because I don't want to speak down to anybody. Let's just think about this zoom out. Everybody just zoom out and look at it. So when I've been in product development and IP for almost 20 years, like understanding product development and getting a new product out to a customer in the power sports industry and in the guitar industry for almost 20 years. And what I'll tell you is there is always a limited audience to test first before they come out with the volume product. Like there is always, almost always, a custom version that comes out before the volume product. That's with everything. That's with everything. So, for example, in the motorcycle industry, about 15 years ago, Ducati came out with, I think they made like 500 of these Desmo whatever, however you say it. I used to be able to say it. But basically, it was a MotoGP bike that you could buy for the street. It was $65,000. And at that point, one of their main sport bike that you could buy for the street was like 15 grand. So this bike's like $65,000, right? And they're only making it for super high-end people. Ferrari does this, where they'll make like 300 to 500 cars, and they will actually, you're not even allowed to buy the car unless you're invited to buy the car because you're a previous customer. They do it with watches. They do it with all kinds of exclusive products. That doesn't mean that they're never going to make a volume product like that. If you go and buy, like I just this past summer, I rode a Ducati Panigale for like a whole day. That bike had more horsepower and the same slipper clutch and all of the fancy things that 8 years ago or 10 years ago that $60,000 bike did. It all filtered down to the consumer product that everybody could buy. So, is Gibson going to make an Epiphone one of these? If they sell out in 5 minutes, they will. If they sit on the docks like a DeLorean, I said this earlier, where you got this DeLorean stainless steel car and there's 3,000 of them sitting on the dock and they can't sell them, then no, they're not going to make a volume product. And what's crazy about it too is people don't understand is the higher end products are higher profit. They definitely are, but it will also fund the development and establish the tooling for the volume product. So there's all this business stuff that goes into these decisions at the same time fueling the collector market. And there's nothing wrong with the collector market. There's nothing wrong with having that because there will always be collectors. And honestly, don't we all kind of want to be that? Like we might not be right now. Like I'm not exactly. But we all want to be that at some point. And the other thing about expensive guitars is that they're aspirational. They're aspirational. Not everybody can afford an R9 from the custom shop. Not everybody can afford the $15,000 Mike McCready Stratocaster. Not everybody can afford that. I want one so bad. I'll wait until there's a cheap version. And if I can afford it, I'll buy it. Or I won't because it'll still be $6,000 or some crappy thing like that. But I don't get angry because I can't afford something or that it's too limited. Look at it just like, I don't know, when I was a kid in the early 80s, I had a Lamborghini Countach on the wall, just like every other kid in the early 80s. Like, I still don't have a Lamborghini Countach, but I was like, I dreamt of it. Like, it's okay to dream of stuff and not have it. You know what I mean? I just think people get too hung up on like, maybe it's like Amazon or something. Like you can click on Amazon and day after tomorrow, it's here. Like boom, done. But this stuff's not like that. Like you have to save up for it. You have to get in on it at the right time. There's only so many of them. Like, it's a mentality, like
I mean,
aspiration.
we are in a society that wants instant feedback, instant response,
But
instant
yes, okay,
delivery.
right. But I don't say, okay, I want um I want right now a Porsche 911 GT3 RS.
Hmm.
Right? I want one. But they're like $213,000. So I'm not going to buy one right now. I don't go on the internet and get pissed and say, they should make a cheaper one because I can't afford that. Or that's so stupid that that's so expensive. They don't.
Maybe that's scalable too.
You don't do that, right? Like
But
they
is
do.
that on a scale? Like,
Yeah, it's called a Volkswagen Golf.
no. I mean, you're talking $200,000, and then we're talking $5,000 versus $1,500. Like,
Yeah, but I think it's a just as unattainable thing to the same person.
just asking. I don't know.
I don't know. It's like, I don't know. Everybody has a number where you're like, I mean, $100 is way more than $5, but I could work hard today and try to get towards $100, but I can't work hard today and get towards $10 million. Like,
I really love the number of people in the comments that are like, I really want one.
I'm glad of that wacky guitar. It's so cool,
mean, somebody
right?
wants it, or it wouldn't have sold out.
Yeah. It probably needs P90s, so give me a call. 4-week wait time, but give me a call. Anyway, I just want to talk about that and put it in more of a positive light. Like, I just think it's a more aspirational thing. I think there's nothing wrong with expensive guitars, and I think we have to have them. I think if every guitar was $400.
Windsurf Maui says they're having a hard time understanding this concept. Could you whiteboard it?
Mm-hmm.
That was a nice reset button for you.
That was pretty good.
You're like, I don't even know where I was headed with my rant now.
Say.
Good job.
That was awesome. No, I just think it's a good positive thing to think about. I think so many people in the last few days have gotten so negative on the internet about, guitars, and we shouldn't be negative about guitars. Guitars are awesome. They're super fun. You want to take a couple questions in there?
We can. Do you want to talk about what people are talking about the conversation first, though?
Oh, and I should tell them who I recorded on a podcast yesterday.
I scrolled back too far. I got left and right and where we're at in the world view. Fat Philosopher likes your So Metal Kitty t-shirt, by the way.
We were just discussing whether we should put this on the website or not. This is not on the website. It's Leslie. Leslie actually designed this one.
It's my design.
But it's not on the Dylan Talks Tone website, and we've decided we're wondering if we should. I'll tell you where this came from.
Why can't you just share the shop link? Why does it have to live on your website?
Because people will add it to orders.
Fair.
This shirt came from one of my buddies who plays in a metal band, Sons of Texas, from Texas. If you've never heard of them, they were huge about 5 years ago. Sons of Texas. And he had just gotten this little kitten, and it had a spiky collar on it. And I posted on his Facebook post. I was like, dude, you're so metal. And he's like, oh, I know, this is ridiculous. Anyway, that's where the shirt came from.
Yeah, he told me, wouldn't a kitten that says So Metal be cute? I was like, sure.
Yep.
Let me draw that.
And she did it. So this is her design. I didn't do this
one. Then there was a bunch of jokes about playing bass because you were trying to be funny.
Yep.
All right. ZB says, for what it's worth, I dig the hell out of the Theodore.
I think it's such a neat guitar. I think it represents, I don't know, I think it represents somebody literally with a blank piece of paper going like, because you got to remember the time. That was 57. So that's before the SG. All they had was the Les Paul for solid bodies. And they're looking at Fender with the Strat and the Telly by 57.
So what is the story? It's just a lost design, or just never got
Somebody
put into
found a filing cabinet full of stuff, and there's a
Mhm.
bunch more. It's not just that one.
So there's more coming.
Yes, but that design is just neat. I just think it's a, and people are like, the headstock is stupid. Like, it would be better if it had, but you got to think about the time. So that peg head ended up making it. I mean, that's the Kramer peg head. It ended up making it on the Firebird, which came out a year later. But remember that you got a guy sketching on a piece of paper going, we need an alder body solid with single coils, because he's looking at Fender, single coils, alder body, double cut. So we've got these P90s. We've got this bridge already. We've got this. We can. So he's drawing up this body. It should be 6 on the side peg head because Fender's is, but we've got to make it different. Like, I can see, I can almost visualize like him. I mean, I've invented stuff that have become amazing things on a napkin before, or just sketching it on a piece of paper, and I can just see all those little ideas. Such a cool thing, man. I think it's so cool.
Fat Philosopher said it is a cash grab, but Gibson is allowed to get money from whomever they want. It's not their fault. Their fanboys are gullible.
And to tell you the truth, I don't know if you know this or not, but if you don't grab cash, you go out of business. So, you know.
Cecil Music. Some people are just brand bunnies and think it has to say Gibson or Fender. Matthew Perkins. Some people collect things. Doc says if they made the Theodore at the $1,200 price point, they would sell as well as the Firebird X did. Nobody would buy it. They had to make it unattainable first.
Bingo! That is exactly right. Because here's what happens. People, Doc is a Volkswagen guy. They have 911. They come out with a Cayman, and everybody is like, that is the Squire 911. It's not as good. So what they have to do is spend the next 10 years then developing this car into something that is as good as a 911, but not really, but is still worth it. And that's the same thing that would happen if they didn't do that correctly. So they have to do it correctly and give it its own place, for sure. Yeah, no, yeah, you're right. Totally right.
And then we do have some questions that have come in if you
Cool,
are
yeah, let's do it.
ready for that. Windsurf Maui says if you take a vacation, just hire a couple of substitutes to handle the live show, like guest hosts on TV talk shows.
Oh my
If
gosh.
only it were that easy.
Except that Alex Trebek is dead, and he's the only one that I would be interested in having.
Doubt he could talk about guitars. I don't know. He might have known a lot of things.
He could talk about guitars, but he would make you feel stupid. Sort of like, so where'd you go to college? And he'd be like, yeah, I graduated from whatever. And he's like, okay. And he would just like walk away, like make the person look totally stupid on TV.
All right. And
that's so funny.
super chat from Matthew Perkins.
Thank you
for the super chat. He says, cash grab. Translation. Good business sense if it works. That is true.
If it works.
If
yeah,
and that was the risk they were taking, right?
So. And if they had 315 or whatever of those guitars and they sold 4 of them, but they're good at it. So it's like they picked the number. Like, let's see how many we can make, but not too many, and create some demand for this thing too. They're creating a place for that guitar that wasn't there. So cool. Yep.
All right. ZB.
Yes.
It must have been a continuation.
What's up, ZB?
Because it says, and Dylan.
Okay.
I haven't ordered the pickups I want yet, but I will. I've been hit hard monetarily here lately, especially with the gas prices.
Oh.
I wonder where ZB is. I
mean,
not that they're not up everywhere, but
yeah.
Especially hard sounds like, oh, did I just hide the wrong comment? I did.
Especially hard sounds not like here.
Yeah.
It's expensive here, but I feel for all y'all.
That it's in different places.
Well, in different countries too. I know, like over in Europe, they're paying like $10-12 a gallon. Yeah. I think in Canada they're paying that much.
So then there's a lot of conversation too that they thought, what is wrong with that they thought the Theodore was a copy of the Tysco Tulip, but this is older.
Yeah, the Tysco Tulip came out after that, which is really interesting because, yeah, I think that came out in what, 63 or 4? I want to say.
Is that a statement or a question?
I, I don't know. Somebody Google it. Tysco Tulip. I'm Googling it while you find another question.
Fat Philosopher said, get your son to go live when you're on vacation. That would be cool. See what he thinks.
Oh my gosh.
Y'all would laugh. You'd have to have a sense of humor. He'd be good, though.
See, the Tysco Tulip, I guess it kind of looks like it. I'm looking this up right now because...
Jack Attack 203 says, hello, my uncle. Is that Jack? Like actual Jack?
What up, dude? Holy smokes. That is my... well, I mean,
I'm assuming.
He's professing to be my nephew, and I have a nephew named Jack. That's really cool. What up, dude? I don't think I've ever seen him on here. So that's awesome. Let's see. I don't see where this is, but it's a lot of fine print, and I don't want to read it right now. So somebody else has to tell us where the Tysco Tulip came in.
Like year-wise?
Yeah, what year? I think 63, 64, somewhere in there.
Oh, that's a different person. Jimmy Ray Hawkins said, I'm in Southern California, and gas prices are steep.
Yeah, I've heard.
All right.
That's what happens.
More questions now that I'm scrolled to the right place. Fat Philosopher says, I will impulse buy that T along with a Stratneck pickup. How do patrons order? So patrons, there should be a post, but let's get the t-shirt up so that you can impulse buy it.
We will get the t-shirt up. Yes. I will...
I have the design. I just have to send it.
Yeah, you just have to send it to me and I'll just put it up. I'll put it up tonight. So by the time you go to work next, because
he's at work now.
Or maybe by the time he gets home from work or whatever. Fat Philosopher's in Japan, so
yeah, cool.
Fat Philosopher, how much is gas in Japan? I know you do it by liter, but I'm curious to know how much it is in Japan.
Add a TM, dear Dylan, as per your title. What I understand over the years, you just need a good manufactured guitar without any faults in it regarding assembly. Just put in good pickups and electronics.
So this is something that I was thinking about today. Going along with this whole how much should guitars cost? Because so many people want to put it they put it on a ladder, right? Like you have the Affinity Telly, and for some reason they use the Fender hierarchy and the Gibson hierarchy for this, and then all of a sudden all guitars are supposed to fall into it, and they just don't. So you have and they do it by where it's made, and which is so stupid to me. So you have the Affinity Telly, you have the CV Telly Squires, you have the Mexican stuff, then you have the American stuff, you have the custom shop stuff, you have the Epiphone stuff, you have the Gibson stuff, the Gibson custom shop stuff. You have the SE PRS stuff. You have the S2 stuff, and then you have their core stuff, right? And I'm holding in my hand today, actually, these two guitars. The purple one, which is $1,000, and the core Silver Sky, which is like 26. And I'm holding, and actually I was standing there looking at her, and I'm like, okay, it's weird to hold these both and be like, this one is $2,600, the core Silver Sky. And I 110% understand why it costs that much, because it is in my mind, it's a $2,300 guitar. It's better than any Fender Ultra whatever at the $2,300 price point. And then you got to add a few $100 for the the artist premium, because they get paid a few $100 for every model that sells. So $2,600 makes sense to me for that guitar. Because let's face it, a high quality, good American guitar flagship model is going to be $2,000 plus in 2022. It just is. That's the way life is. You just have to deal with it. And then I'm holding this purple guitar in my hand, and it's $1,000, and it's made in Indonesia. And I'm like, by all rights, this guitar should not be this much. But the more you look at this purple guitar, the more you realize the binding is perfect, the finish is perfect, the neck is perfect, the frets are perfect. Just like the Silver Sky SE. That thing's $849. That guitar is $899 or $999. And it has a Floyd, and it has a coil split, and it has a Seymour Duncan pickup from the factory. It has all the things. And you're like, and I wanted it. It wouldn't be worth it. It wouldn't be worth $1,000 if I didn't want it. But I wanted it. So it was worth it. And had I not been able to afford it when I did, well, I couldn't. I actually had to sell some other stuff. I would have waited a little while and I would have got it. Like I would have just sold them, saved up and got it. It doesn't matter where the guitar is made. Is it good? Like what they were saying. Is it good? Does it play good? Does it sound good? Does it have good pickups in it? Is the setup good? Is it good? It's great. Now the Mexican Stratocaster for $849 is not. But it can be made good, so we did, and now it's awesome. But I just think where everybody puts these guitars should stand on their own. Like there should be no comparing guitars that find their own place in the market. And I think that's what people don't allow to happen. People want to compare everything to everything else. When in reality, a company does not always, sometimes they do, but they do not always say, we're going to make this product compare and compete with this product. They don't always do that. They just say, we're going to put this in the market because it's its own thing, and that's it. This Kramer is an excellent example of it. There's nothing like it, except for other Kramers, really, when you really think about it. Maybe there is, but it's kind of its own thing. So why compare it to something else? Oh, it should be more expensive. It should be cheaper. Just let it be its own thing. And is it worth it to you or not? That's another little thing that kind of bugs me.
Okay.
Anyway,
we were talking about
let's go.
Gas prices.
Yes.
So gas prices in Japan went up 40 yen from 240 to 280 yen per liter. So then people were just chiming in. Ivan said it's $1.80 per liter in Ontario.
It's like $7.
Doc says it's 808. He converted it like U.S. gallons, I
like
guess,
the
in
drum?
Canada. Oh, sorry.
We got a super chat from Aaron Lanterman. The laws of physics are still the same in China, Mexico, Korea, and Indonesia as they are in the U.S. Dude, you are 110% correct.
That's awesome. Thanks for the super chat, Aaron.
Yeah. I don't care where a guitar is made. I really don't. I don't care. Now, if somebody's stealing intellectual property to build a guitar, then that bothers me. But, intellectual property is a thing for me. I really believe in getting paid for what you do and not getting it stolen from you. I am very, very strong on that. And I have been for a long time, since way before I've been doing any of this stuff.
What's a carbon tax? Is that a Canadian thing?
I don't know. I mean,
Ivan's in Canada, right?
Yeah. We used to have a gas guzzler tax. So like anything with a bajillion horsepower.
Matthew Perkins is in Florida.
What about more questions?
CB didn't say where he's at, but he said it's over $6 there. Fat Philosopher's like, convert this for me. How many liters are in a gallon? Questions. Wayne Hussey. I can't remember their real name. Sorry about that. Sorry I'm late. How is your eye?
It's better. I'm still wearing glasses just because, but it's better.
IBJI. Not to change the subject, but did you see the Does Scale Length Matter video?
Mm-mm. Who did it?
Let us know. IBJI. Yeah. Carbon taxes on emissions. They have it in Europe too.
Oh, yeah.
Add a TM. Dear Dylan, I want to order pickups, single set from you, but I don't have PayPal. Is it possible, like, I can pay on AliExpress easily?
No.
You don't have to use PayPal, but you will have to
You will have to use
an
a credit card
exchange that
or
is
some sort
on
of
the
exchange
website.
that's
Yeah.
on the website.
Benjamin Loy. Howdy, y'all. Long-time listener, first-time caller. Which T-style set to get for my first parts caster? T-body, made in Mexico neck. Is that what that means? For mid-heavy, dense chordal playing. Can the T90s come in the upgrade kit?
Oh. I've never thought about that. We're making lists. I've never thought about putting the T90.
Oh, it's a new Jim Lil video.
Oh, sweet. No,
So
I have not
everybody's
seen
it. Everybody's like,
No,
Jim
I got
Lil.
more focused on the Casino Guitars Harley Benton video. Is what kind of inspired this whole thing tonight.
Aaron says he basically showed that the difference in sound from scale length results from differing tension and differing pickup placement along the string.
Yeah, we did that too. It's scale length is the biggest thing. Okay, so
and while you look up that, ZB said, "What about payments?" I feel like there is something. Does your website have that now?
Yeah, we have Shopify payments. Yep.
Yeah, there is an option available for you.
So
we don't get your information. It's still all handled by.
Correct. I don't handle anybody's credit card information. Yeah. It's all official.
We don't
do that. Okay, so the shirt, the T90s in a set. You guys are awesome. I will make sure that we do this. I will do this almost immediately. After. And then what was the third thing?
I don't know where you started making this list.
The shirt, the T90s in a set, and I don't remember what else. Okay, well, we'll start with that.
All right.
What other questions we got in there?
The T90s, that's the question you just grabbed, right?
Yes.
So you don't have it right now, but you're saying...
Yeah, I will do it.
Okay, so Benjamin, he's going to get something updated.
Yep.
You can message in the meantime, I guess. Or are you going to get that done immediately?
I'm going to get it done probably tonight or in the morning.
Cool. All right.
Yeah.
Fat Philosopher, how long should Gibson wait before making a poor man's version? They haven't released a poor man's Hendrix V yet.
Some of that stuff I don't know that they ever will. I don't know. It's taken them a long time to do stuff because they are also, you got to remember, everybody wants to hate on Gibson, but they're selling over capacity right now. They're selling as many guitars as they can make and then some. So, for everybody who wants to say, this is the dumbest thing, this is a bad idea, this is just a whatever, they're selling everything they make. So it's not really a bad idea.
Can you tag people from here? No.
What are you trying to do?
Ada doesn't know how to order, so I can't put your website.
Oh.
I have to type it there, but I can't tag him.
In the description of this video, there is a link to our website, dylantalkstone.com.
There we go. So that was Fat Philosopher's question, but he also had another one, so we're just going to go ahead and go to his next one.
Yep.
Thoughts on Casino Guitar's recent video trashing Harley Benton for ripping off Taylor guitars?
I knew this was going to come up tonight. I stand with them 100%. I know those guys personally. I'm actually going up there again next weekend. I'm really good friends with them. We have discussed this a lot. And I've talked about it a lot on this channel before, and I always get a lot of hate for it every time I talk about it. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but we stopped. I used to cover Harley Benton in our news segment on every Wednesday, and I kind of make fun of it, and that was sort of unnecessary and kind of mean, so I stopped doing it. But I also stopped covering any of their stuff, because I do not have issue. I do not take issue at all with low-priced instruments. A lot of people take my stand on Harley Benton to say that I am snobby about low-priced instruments. But for those of you that are loyal to the channel and have watched for a long time, you know that I will on purpose like buy the cheapest guitar and do upgrades to it and learn about it and figure out what's actually wrong with it, and if there is anything. And usually there isn't. Usually stuff's pretty good if you buy it from a reputable brand. So I have nothing against cheap guitars, and what I tell people all the time is buy the best guitar that you can afford. I don't care what you play. I don't care if you buy my pickups and put it in a Harley Benton. It doesn't bother me. You do you, and I'm not telling you to do anything. But my personal feelings on it, which my personal feelings drive how I run my business, is not to support companies that I believe in my heart are not doing things as ethically as I would like to see them done. And you can say, well, there's tons of companies out there that are doing things that are, but this is one, and I'm not hating on anybody. I'm not an activist. I'm not going to, but I am also not going to support them on my channel. I'm not going to do reviews on their stuff. I'm not going to include them in our news. We're just not going to do it. I think that Thomann, this is my opinion, and nobody has been able to prove otherwise to me, because I've done a bunch of research on this. Because, again, IP is my thing, and product development. It is my opinion that Thomann knows that they go to China and make rip-off designs of other instruments and sell them cheaply, and they do it there on purpose so that they don't have to worry about IP stuff. And they can have an entire brand based on ripped off ideas. And if it's legal, that's fine. If it's ethical in the strictest sense of the word, if you feel that it is, that's fine. Again, I'm not going to tell you what to do, and I'm not going to try to affect your opinion. I'm just telling you how I feel about it, and therefore I'm going to stick to what I feel is right for us and how we run our business, and that's it. I don't want to talk bad about anybody else's stuff or anything. Because honestly, a lot of you buy those cheap guitars and you put my stuff in it and you buy products from me to do it. So, and I appreciate that. So I'm not going to talk down about it, but I'm personally not going to support it. And I 100% agree with Casino Guitars on their stand for it. I know they've really been getting drugged today on the internet, and no, I'm with them. I'm 100% with them. I watched that video twice to make sure that I was, because I knew this was going to come up, because people know that I'm friends with them.
Eisen said, that's so funny. Eisen said, and then you ask a question. Dylan, is there a humbucker pickup that you can coil split that sounds like P90?
Not really. No, not really.
David Mitchell, good evening, guys. Seems that cable capacitance is critical to the pickup's resonant peaks. Wouldn't a cap and onboard buffer be a more reliable way of shaping than depending on the cable? Wouldn't a cap and onboard buffer be a more reliable way of shaping that than depending on the cable?
Yeah, except, you could do that, but why build complexity when you can go in the link to the video below and buy this cable for $50. That's 20 picofarads per foot, and it's a non-issue. And there's no moving parts, and there's nothing to maintain, and there's nothing to worry about, and you don't have to use a battery in your guitar. I mean, why would you do that if you could just have a really good cable? Link below.
All right. Cole Nunn. What bridge saddles should I run on a Strat?
Just the ones it comes with. They're good. I don't know why not.
Add a TM. What do you recommend for versatility in single coils? Your Hot 5 or Classic 5?
Depends what you want to do. If you're running all single coils and no humbucker, get the Classic 5s. I really like them. People have been asking me too. Oh, this was one thing we need to add to the website. We were talking about, you and I were talking about last night about answering questions before people ask them.
Yes.
One of the other questions that we were getting this week was because the new Silver Sky pickups came out.
Yes.
The new Silver Sky pickups that we make cannot be fit into a Strat. They don't work in a Strat. It's because of the way that magnets are arched. However, our Classic 5s are very close in engineering and overall whine count and all that kind of stuff to those Silver Sky SE pickups. So if you want that really nice kind of super duper cool cleans,
He said it's hum single.
oh, then get the Hot 5s. 2 Hot 5s and a center punch. That's what I would do.
Yeah, and Ada, I know you asked earlier about contact. The website is dylantalkstone.com, and there is a contact form there if you need that. Everything is on the website except the things he's adding.
Yeah,
They
making a
will
list.
be on the website. All right.
It's one of the things we were talking about because we're so busy right now, and we're like, how can we make it easier for people and like to not have to ask extra questions and slow you down and, you know, obviously slow us down too, just make it way easier. So we're like, we need to pre-answer some of these questions on the website. So this is really helping, this input.
Yeah.
You're like, hey, I have this question. It should be on the website, so you don't have to ask. That's why
So while
I'm
you're
very
coiling
grateful.
up that cable, because somebody was like, I need new cables. What brand cable is that?
This is Runway Audio Cables out of Nashville, Tennessee, and they are absolutely fantastic.
There is a link in the description.
There is.
Please use that link.
Please use that link. And there is a discount code, and you get 10% off if you use that discount code.
Cool. All right.
I just don't have room to coil up this cable.
And then Matilda Habardo says, hey, hope you're well. Thanks for telling me about the Gilmore mod. I installed it in my Stratocaster and I love it. I also did a phase reversal switch for the bridge pickup.
Sweet.
That's
dude,
cool.
That's so sweet. I'm glad you dig that. That makes my day. I was just telling somebody this yesterday. Oh, I'll tell you who I was telling because I'm going to tell you who we recorded a podcast yesterday. I don't think it's coming out next Tuesday. I think it's coming out the following Tuesday because it's a long edit. But I interviewed Big KO. Big KO is the guitar player for Run DMC. And it was absolutely one of my favorite conversations. It was so cool. What a cool thing to talk to this guy. And weirdly to like go back to like the things that inspired me in music when I was a kid, because I don't want to say that Run DMC, I don't want to say that he is like one of my childhood heroes, or even that Darryl McDaniels, DMC was one of my like childhood heroes per se. But that time period had a major, major effect on my formative period of learning guitar and like what I liked about guitar. And when Aerosmith worked with them and, when they did all of their rock inspired hip hop stuff, like he was explaining to me, you can listen to the podcast when it comes out, but I'll just give you a little preview. he was explaining to me, he's like, you know that super common like that whole that like that bass line that everybody that drum beat that everybody used even in parks and like doing rap battles in parks in the 80s. He's like, that was a Billy Squier drum beat. He's like, they were taking drum beats from rock songs, sampling them and building their hip hop on top of it. So rock and hip hop were already super like integrated before it even ever got off the ground. And talking about how, we think of hip hop today as like all electronic, but back then it was all real instruments. It was coming out of funk and disco, and they were playing like two drummers and tons of instruments, like real instruments. Like, it was just really neat to think about that time period. And then all the way down to today, what he uses. He's a Gibson artist. We're going to collaborate on a guitar build, which is really nuts, man. He's a huge Leslie West and Mountain fan. And so we have some ideas we're going to do. Wait till you listen to it. It's really, really awesome. Anyway. Yeah.
GG and stuff says, Dylan, dumb idea. What happens if you build a huge dual P90 pickup to stick in a bridge position? Normally run it together as a huge humbucker and can flip to the front or back. A P180. Ric Flair.
Okay, so I don't know what you mean by that, but I have some pickups right here. I just made these today. So you mean like like a humbucker, like have two P90s like that and have it like
super pickup?
Super.
Wow, that would be
That's
really
a lot.
obnoxious.
That's a lot of magnet. That would be obnoxious. Be super cool though.
Obnoxious.
I mean, why not? We could cut a pick guard and put it in a strap with like a swimming pool route. Try it. It'd be kind of fun. Put it in a Silver Sky. Piss some people off.
Not a dumb idea. Innovative things are not dumb.
Nope.
It just might not work. He said that was exactly what he was thinking.
That's the kind of stuff, man. I'll wake up in the middle of the night and write that stuff down. Or don't write it down and forget it. I do. I'll wake up in the middle of the night and be like, wait a minute. What if? Like, literally, like, what if?
And then he'll wake up the next morning for real and be like, I dreamt about something, but I can't remember.
Yep.
We're all caught up, and it's 9 o'clock. I don't know what's up.
Wow, look at that.
What y'all doing out there?
How many people we got tonight?
Currently 99.
99.
Aaron says, I really want to try a P180 now. It's like becoming a thing, and we haven't even tried it yet.
Right?
Do it.
I'd have to call it something else. I'd have to call it something else.
Do you make pick guards? Cole asks. No. I mean...
Wait, for what?
We don't make them.
Well, we have them made.
Have them made.
Yeah, so like, where's my... It's right here. This is a Silver Sky pickguard in tortoiseshell. That is going to have pickups in it. It's going to be a loaded Silver Sky pickguard. And they're going to be $329, just like the Strat ones. Well, this one won't be. This one will be $349 because this is an expensive pickguard. Tortoiseshell is really expensive. It's like 4 times as much as a white one.
Wayne Hussey said, wouldn't that be similar to what Fender were going to use in the original Marauder design?
Yeah, kind of.
The Yoga Nath. Hello, Dylan. My neck P90 is way louder than my bridge P90. My mate told me that's actually normal, so I figured I'd ask.
You kind of sometimes, it depends on the pickups, but we can usually get them pretty balanced. You might have to play with height just a little bit. See if you can do that. Play with height a little bit. But here's what happens is sometimes P90s, and ours aren't like this, but sometimes P90s can get really super bassy and big sounding in the neck position. And so they're real boomy and they just kind of take over everything. And then if the bridge pickup is really super mid-rangey and really honky and kind of thin, then it can sound to your ears like the neck is way louder than the bridge. Even when, and really what's happening is just the wrong frequencies are being accentuated. So then they feel very opposite of each other. That can happen, and that's where a good set of matched P90s will come into play.
Super chat. Thank you for the super chat. Frittata. Thank you. Hi, Dylan. I am a fan of a relict look on my nitro guitars, but I like to do it, quote, naturally. For example, I only play my Gibson guitars shirtless or after working out. What other methods are there to age guitars naturally?
I have a friend, so I agree with you 100%. My Gibson right here, I don't clean it because I want the it sounds gross, but I don't clean it when I'm done playing it. I want the nitro to start breaking down.
He plays it sweaty. So
I think it's great.
I think he doesn't think it's gross.
I think it's great. I have a friend who Michael will take a new nitro guitar and he will put it in the window. And just he'll get up in the morning and put it in the window
just
and flip it over.
Start aging.
Yep. Because solar, like
UV
sunlight,
rays.
UV rays, can accelerate that.
Damage your skin, damage your guitar.
I mean, if you put it in a tanning bed, I wonder what would happen.
That'd be kind of cool. Anyway,
you'd probably have lines in it.
Just no.
Thank you for the super chat.
Thanks for the super chat, GG and stuff. Just said woo. But we've been talking about they're all excited about this P180 or D180 or D90. Like they're all making up names for something that doesn't exist yet and they're excited.
Yeah.
Thank you, GG and stuff.
Yes,
for
thank
the
you
super
very
chat. much. Rick said, Dylan, Joyce likes your shirt. We're going to put it on his website that is currently lives somewhere else. I designed it. So.
Oh, and Rick did make it, obviously.
You were just talking about should you make, so maybe you should do.
Should I do a woman's shirt of this?
A male and female shirt.
Yes.
Different cut.
Yep, male and female, because they are different.
Yeah.
Sized and stuff.
Let's see. I feel like I missed something, so I was trying to scroll back up. Because we are currently...
Yeah, because we don't know who's out of... First of all, because of YouTube names, and because I don't want to be rude, I don't oftentimes know if we have females watching or males watching, or...
Yeah.
I know that our audience is predominantly male, but I also don't know if they have supportive girlfriends that might need some merch, too. You know, because... You're cool. And you like merch. So maybe somebody else will too.
Add a TM.
So let me know.
Dear Dylan, I have an issue regarding noise. When I lower the volume 8 all the way to 0, I have humming issue. On 9 to full, it's no issue. What is happening? Changed pots as well. So from 0 to 8, there's noise. And 9 and up, there's no noise. Wow. It's a big range.
I don't know. Sounds like there's a ground problem in a pot, but you just replace your pots. So I was gonna go to a bad pot, but
already addressed it. I don't know. Let add know in the comments if you have any ideas. Thank you for the super chat, Sean McMillan. Sean says, I received the email that my order recently shipped. I am really looking forward to getting the P90s installed. Thank you.
Yep.
Sweet. Those are fun emails. Doesn't matter what you're ordering.
He got 3 P90s. He's doing a Reverend Jet 390. Like that one that John Bollinger gave me that I had for a while.
Josh Carter says, do you have a video about your method of carving and installing a nut on a guitar? I need to learn, and I feel like your explanations are always easy to follow.
I don't have a nut video. Here's the closest thing I can give you. So we do have some stuff on Patreon. I carved a nut from beginning to end on Patreon a couple weeks ago or a month ago. And if you are, I think, the $10 level on Patreon, you will get all the back plays of all of that like last guitar build that we did all on Patreon. And there's one in there. The other thing too is right after Formula One qualifying on Saturday, so 12 o'clock Eastern time, I'm going to do a live stream, noon Saturday. And I am going to do a full setup on a telly. I was going to do it Monday, but I wasn't feeling good. And so Saturday, I think qualifying's at 11. And as soon as qualifying is over for Formula One, because that's the most important thing that happens on Saturday, then at 12 we will do that. And as part of that, I will run through. How about this? I will make sure that on Saturday I will run through the nut setup on that guitar, even if we don't have to do much to it because I already did it. I'll show you what I do, and we can kind of run through that. And then even if you can't watch it live, you'll be able to see it in replay, and that should give you some idea.
The Yoganath, you just described my issue. Would your P90 work good on the neck with a JB from SD on the neck? It's JB, something from Seymour Duncan.
Yeah, that's actually that pickup right there. It's in that purple guitar. Yeah, probably, actually. Yep.
Windsurf Maui says you could electrocute it like the Florida guitar. I think that is one cool looking guitar body.
It is, right? Dangerous.
There's an old fighter plane called, I think, a P-180. Jason Albert.
I have some
JB
ideas.
on the bridge is what they meant to say.
Yeah.
Cole Nunn said, if I can find a girlfriend that likes guitars, that would be great. So they're not worried about t-shirts. They just need to find the girl. Let's see. Matilda Habardo. Also, thanks for your video on how to wire a kill switch. I installed one on my Strat by shorting the leads at the jack.
Works better, doesn't it? It's quieter. Yep.
Aaron Lanterman says, nut video sounds funny out of context. All guitar talk is dirty out of context.
Yep. Pots and shafts and...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Joshua Grombacher says Hamilton will take pole. Fat Philosopher says, Leslie is one of the rare cool women out there. My wife is an awesome classical guitar player, but she stops listening to Stairway when the drums kick in. LOL.
I skipped that song before that. I
didn't know both of you play guitar. That's really cool.
That's really awesome.
I don't play guitar, so.
Oh. I would rather Ferrari win the championship and have Red Bull be second than have Hamilton win the championship. I'm just going to say.
Ooh.
He's already whiny. Already whiny.
Not the place. All right. I answered all the questions.
Cool. So, that's awesome.
Maybe we have an early night tonight.
Well, that's okay because we're going out.
I'm tired. What? Are we?
I was thinking about going to an open mic tonight.
Oh, is that today?
Yeah. Unless you don't want to, we don't have to. Anyway, I guess I need to update this website too, so maybe we won't have time to do it tonight. But anyway, this has been really fun. Thanks for hanging out, everybody. And I guess we will see you on the internet's probably